The air that day tasted like metal and dust. I remember because my throat burned when I swallowed. My daughter had called me the night before. Her voice had that forced brightness I'd learned to hear through, too light, too even. "Come for tea, Papa. It's been too long." So I went. I hadn't seen her in 3 months. Marriage had turned her quiet, obedient. Her laughter, the one that used to fill my house, had become something smaller, something rehearsed. When I arrived, I didn't find her in the house. I found her outside, under a tarp. The sunlight cut through in fractured patches, baking the air into something unbearable. She was crouched over a small stove, stirring a pot. The fabric above her sagged from the heat. Her hands trembled as she worked. I stood there, silent, watching the daughter I'd raised to be fearless cook like a servant in her own yard. Then he walked out, her husband. He smiled, polite but dismissive, the way a man greets a worker instead of family. "Mom," he said, as if the word were a test. It's her duty to adapt. My daughter didn't look up. She didn't move. She just kept stirring, as if even breathing without permission would make things worse. Something inside me cracked, quietly, like a branch under snow. He talked about tradition, respect, obedience, words people use when they want control, but not accountability. I nodded, said nothing, watched him speak with the ease of a man who thinks he owns the silence around him. When she finally looked at me, her eyes said what her mouth couldn't. "Help me." I ate the food she brought. I smiled when he spoke. I waited, because anger, when used too soon, only burns the wrong person. After lunch, she handed me tea with both hands. Her knuckles were red, scalded. I noticed the bandages hidden beneath her sleeves. He noticed me noticing. He laughed softly. "She's clumsy in the kitchen. Still learning." Still learning. I wanted to ask, learning what? Humility? Submission? Silence? But I didn't. I just looked at my daughter and said, "You've done well," and I meant it differently than he thought. That night I sat in my car outside their gate long after the lights went out, and for the first time in my life I felt something colder than rage. Patience. The next few weeks I started observing. Small things first. I visited unannounced, brought fruit, small gifts, excuses. Every time she seemed thinner, quieter. Every time he was there, answering for her. When she spoke, she looked at him first. Control doesn't always look like violence. Sometimes it looks like politeness sharpened to a blade. I checked records, property titles, bank accounts. He'd transferred everything into his name within the first 6 months of marriage. He'd isolated her from her friends, even changed her number. I hired someone, discreetly, to follow him. 3 days later, I received photos. He wasn't spending his nights at home. There was another woman, younger, free, laughing. He'd built my daughter a prison and another woman a paradise. I sat in the dark that night and planned. Not out of rage, out of necessity. Because a man like that doesn't understand confrontation. He understands loss. The evidence was clean. Dates, transfers, photos, everything. I went back one afternoon when I knew he'd be home. My daughter greeted me at the gate, startled. "Papa, you can't just come." "I know," I said softly. "That's why I did." He walked out, already irritated. "What is this?" I handed him the folder. He flipped through the pages. His confidence began to crack, his smirk fading as he saw each photograph. His voice dropped. "Where did you get this?" I didn't answer. I just turned to my daughter. "Pack your things." He stepped between us, blustering about family honor, about misunderstanding. I looked at him once, long enough for him to realize I wasn't bluffing. "I'm taking her home," I said, "or I take this to the police. Your choice." Silence. Then, for the first time, he stepped aside. She didn't argue, didn't cry, just packed what she could fit into one bag. As she walked past him, he said, low and venomous, "She'll come back." I smiled. No, she won't. We left without looking back. I didn't need to. Some places don't deserve witnesses. That night, I burned the folder. Not to hide it, just to end it. Some truths don't need to live forever. They just need to be revealed long enough to destroy the right person. It's been 6 months. She lives with me now. She laughs again, hesitantly, like a sound relearning itself. Sometimes she sits in the garden at dusk, hands wrapped around a cup of tea. The same hands that once trembled over a pot beneath a tarp.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.